Where's
I like
Connor?
that. I like that logo, man. That's sick.
What'd he say?
I like
Connor
the
coming on?
that logo.
Now Connor quit development, bro.
He did?
Yeah.
What?
Wait a minute. I thought he said I just talked to him 2 days ago.
He said he's done. He said he lost. No, I'm fucking with you guys. I'll be right in.
Oh, goodness.
I was like, there's no way, Robert. I talked to Connor, man. You can't fool me.
Yeah, how have you and Connor been? He told me he's been pairing up with you recently. You like him?
Yeah, man. Absolutely. As you see, another body in this big force when we take over the world here.
Of course.
That's a fact, man. How's everybody's week so far?
Decent. You, man?
Pretty good, man. I've been just knee deep in WebRTC and stuff like that, man. Also in XML land too. I had to we got to do like these. I was talking to your brother Daniel about it. We have to do like these nasty ass XML documents that we have to submit across, and we're using Ruby. I mean, it could be anything, Python or Ruby or whatever, but the end goal has got to turn into XML.
Okay.
So, and Devontae, do you know what XML is?
XML? No, I've never heard of XML.
It's really a file transport. Like, so you're familiar with, and I think actually this might be a good time if you can share your screen, Devontae. Do you still have the? I'm gonna look at the Trello card. But I was gonna say, do you still have the that profile? Remember the profile when we were doing we intake profile and then we converted over into this format. And it was like a comma separated, a CSV file, but it was using pipes to separate it. You know what I'm talking about?
Are you talking about the EasyCop file that was encrypted?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't have it, but I can get it like right now.
Yeah, do that. So it's just another file format. That's it, really. And XML is a little bit more verbose. I've actually been working on it with Christian, who just popped up on the line.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I guess I don't want to go too far into the XML. I guess while we're waiting for Connor, who's going to pop on here in a moment, I don't know. This call is not really about XML. It could have something to do with it. Well, we'll take a look at, I guess, data structures. That'll be a good one. There's Connor.
Hey guys, sorry I'm a little late.
And then get into Python. No worries. Alberto's on the Python code. Wow, nice. Alberto, you done programming JavaScript?
I am.
Nice. Yeah, so I guess really what we'll do is we can
Can you
go.
see my screen?
Yeah. We'll go over some data formats. I think that'll be good, and then we can go over some Python stuff and let Connor take that away. Connor, you stepped in. We were talking about different ways to represent data. So there's this one way to represent data, which is JSON. Let's see here. Well, who can bring up an example of JSON? Anybody?
I got it.
Awesome.
Let me show my screen real quick. Let me boot up a Sublime. You guys see my screen?
Yeah, I see your screen.
Okay, so JSON is a data structure that's used over the web, specifically in communicating over HTTP. It's kind of like a standard format for transferring information over the wire. JSON APIs, that's a very good use case of the JSON format. So JSON at the end of the day is just a string of text, but it has a syntax that goes along with it. So I was talking to Connor about this the other day. In Python, you have a dictionary, which kind of acts, it's kind of like the same thing as JSON. So JSON is actually this key value pair structure. So I can be like name, honor, age, 17. JSON works with many types, like numerical and string types. Anyways, yeah, it's kind of just a structured way of sending information over the web.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before JSON, I'd say I guess we can go back in time. So let's see here. Where's Christian at? Is Christian still on? I think he bounced off. Oh,
He's here.
where's Christian?
I'm here.
Oh, I was about to just talk some smack to you. How come I don't see your logo, or is it just weird? It's like I don't.
Because we're in the same room.
Oh, I got it. Got it. So, Christian, if you can, since you've been dealing with XML a little bit, can you show? So, if you can have Robert show your screen again, and we look at that representation, and then Christian, why don't you represent it in XML? Either you or Alberto, one of you guys got to share the screen and do it. So it looks like we have a name, and it's a string, and then we got age, and it's a number. You guys see that?
Yeah, I see it.
I also nest JSON documents so I can go like
Training, guys.
schools, and I can throw an array into there.
Make it bigger.
I got you.
Right.
Oops. Tried to enlarge it. When I was zooming into it, maybe. Go ahead and Alright, you guys see this?
Yeah, I see it.
Perfect. So let's go ahead and change my spacing maybe. Whatever. So I'll go ahead and do name, set that equal to Connor. Age 17. It's kind of weird. Snugs, you know what the syntax error right here is? I'm getting some error.
Well, first of all, are you in a JSON file?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody? Maybe spacing? I don't think spacing matters.
Delete the comma.
Oh,
After
delete the
17.
comma at the end.
That's all it is. No. Put that. You just had to delete one comma. That's the only error you get.
Oh, I got you.
So when you finish with the next row, it'll go away.
Is it Ruby that allows you to have trailing commas? I think Ruby lets you do that. I kind of like it and I kind of don't.
Dude, what's another property? I'm gonna show an example of nesting a JSON document.
Well, what are we representing?
Address maybe.
Okay.
Right. That makes sense.
Nesting, so having multiple values in one value pair.
Right.
Honestly, schools can be an array. Or it can be another JSON object. For the hell of it, I'll just keep it as an array. So how about interest? How about we do Python? And then we can have some descriptors inside of here. So, yeah. So we don't even have to go that deep.
Nice, Robert.
Yeah. I want to keep this one shallow. On.
Well, actually, yeah, okay, there you go. Favorite language, that's good. That's good.
I guess that works.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that is the outline of a simple JSON document right there. Damn it, man. It's hitting me again with that error. Syntax error.
So just okay. Nesting is putting a double value pair in a double value pair value, right?
So you can pretty much manipulate a JSON document in whatever way you want. So at the end of the day, all you really need, Connor, is you need these babies right here.
Nesting is putting an object inside of an object. An object is defined by those curly braces.
Yeah,
Okay.
this defines an object. It's kind of like the object constructor per se, but it's literally just text. So I can do like a key, like what? I'll do name Dan. So then I can nest another object inside of an object. So I can do interest again. You get the point, right?
All right.
And, and if I really wanted to, dude, I could be like Python and then do another object inside of it.
All right. Now, can you give me an example of when this would be used in a real scenario?
Yeah.
Like,
Give me the.
Oh, I got an example. I
Okay.
got a really good example actually. So it's going to be 2 steps though. So Alberto, can you share your screen?
Yeah.
So this data structure, the 2 steps we're going to do here is that we're going to first convert this data structure into XML, because that'll allow us to look at like different representations of data. Because like you'll face XML, JSON, CSV, no matter what language you're using, because this is just a representation of some structure. You know, like student might have favorite class or something like that, and you're just trying to push the data from one place to another place. That's the reason why you kind of build these structures. And so like JSON is kind of the de facto standard these days, but you still running the stuff that has XML. Like even on Nike's site, there's like a couple of endpoints that respond with XML on their like assisted devices application site that respond XML because Oracle says so. Just weird stuff you'll come across, but you can use any language to consume it. So Alberto, are you? What you want to do, Robert, is show your screen with the JSON data when you get a chance, and what Alberto to do is to make a XML representation of it, which is just like HTML. So XML and HTML is a subset of XML. XML just, the only difference is you can just name the elements yourself. Like there's no spec like paragraph and body or whatever. You just give.
There are different ways to represent data across the internet and just in general. So you have JSON, XML, all of them follow some sort of specification. So JSON, at the end of the day, it's really just a spec for kind of storing structures and being able to transport them over the internet or do whatever the hell you want with them. So the language you're programming in kind of implements over that. So there's like JSON parsers in Python. So given a string of JSON text, it will parse them into a dictionary so you can access the key value pairs. So it's nothing special. It's really just raw text, but it's structured raw text. So you can parse that text and be able to use it in your application. And JSON can be accessed from like any language. So if, like Python, Objective-C, Swift, Node.js, the language kind of implements JSON. It's really just a specification on how data should be transferred or stored.
It's just a string. You could even access it without a JSON parser just by combing through the string. You should do that.
Yeah, it's just a string of text, bro. You know a string in Python, like, you know, it's the 2 double quotes. It's literally just a string of text. It's structured text, though.
A practical example is if you have an app, say an iOS app, you need to be able to sign up. So what you can do is create a JSON object, and in that object you have 2 things. Username and password, and you just set those to strings in the object, and then you can use HTTP, transport that to your server, and say you're using Flask. With Flask, you can actually take the HTTP body, and it's a JSON string, and you can decode that into a Python dictionary, and then access the username and password and put it in your database.
Okay.
That's a practical example.
Excellent. So what we're going to do here is, Alberto, can you, Robert, can you show that JSON object that you have made before?
Yeah.
Alberto's going to open up some, I don't know, Sublime or whatever, some empty document, and give it an extension of XML so that at least you get some syntax highlighting. It won't drive you crazy.
I think it is. I don't think. Yeah, it's not gonna highlight this.
Nice. Okay. So let's see here. What's Robert's structure look like? It looks like this is a person. See, that's really important that you gave it a name. And you
Exactly.
said that JSON object that we're trying to represent a person. You see that person equals?
Yeah.
And that's a convention you want to do in any language, really. But Alberto, so that means that the root of the XML object is going to be person. You know how like the root of an HTML document is HTML?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to make a person root.
So
So the brackets and then the person, and then we're going to have to make a closing person element just like HTML. And I know it's not Pug. See, I knew you were going to do it. I know it's not Pug. You're going to have to actually explicitly write out the HTML elements. So like less than, person, greater than, and closes it out.
less.
Oh, yeah, I meant the character less than.
Wait. Wouldn't you start with doc type HTML?
No, not yet, not yet. So then we write no space, but we put a person element in there. We just write person. And then we close it off with a greater than.
Oh, sorry.
And then the next line, do the same exact thing, but we're going to put a / in the beginning. Well, greater than and then / my bad. Or less than / There you go. So it automatically finished that for you, Alberto?
Yes, it did.
Okay, so we can remove that first / We don't need that. Oh, no, that was right. That was right when it completed, but the very first one, you see at the beginning of line 2, there's a / you can remove that. Line 2.
Oh.
Okay. So line 2, you want to remove it.
To remove the / so back up to the beginning of the line.
The thing is that I cannot hear you very well.
Oh, I'm sorry. Back up to the beginning of the line and then do the closing person tag where you do the / person. But you see, so Alberto, there you go. So you can remove the first character in line 2. You can remove that.
This one.
Perfect. So put some space in between the two of those. I mean, a line space, a new line. So on line 2, so let's go back to Robert's structure there. On line 2, Robert, where's your? All right, so we have name. All right, so then we're gonna make Alberto, we're gonna make a new element called name, and nest that inside of person. So you're gonna tab over. So like, yeah, there you go, and start it there. Perfect. And then what was the name? Put Connor. Start typing Connor. And then, wait, hold on. That's not how you spell Connor, Alberto. Bro. Hey, Alberto, that's not how you spell Connor.
No, we're good. Okay. So
Is that really not how you spell it?
No, he's one N off, but we're good.
Yeah, you're one N off. There you go. And
Oh, 3 N's. I got you guys. Okay.
so here's one thing I like to do. When it's a short value, like on line 4, the closing name starts. I like to put that on the same line. So on line 2, Alberto. So yeah, exactly. So then now what's the next one? What's the next element? Robert, what's the next one?
Let me bin back into it. In an error. H.
Okay, we got H. So we're gonna need the H, Alberto. Awesome. We're gonna do schools.
Oh.
That's really weird.
Yeah, just make another element that says schools, Alberto.
No.
And
Right.
close that off. No, no, you have to do the, yeah, there you go. So put the cursor in between the elements and press enter. So here's a weird thing about XML. How do you represent a collection? Because in JSON you can do it with an array, but in XML you have to like create some other type of object. So in our case, maybe we might call it school singular. So let's make a school singular element, Alberto. No, well, keep schools plural. See, that's the thing. XML is very verbose. So keep schools plural, and then inside of it, we're going to make a school singular element. Yeah, no S. And then put the name of the school that he has there. What's the name of the school, Robert?
Battlefield.
Battlefield High School.
Okay, Battlefield High School, Alberto.
Or he has it as Battlefield High. So.
Okay, excellent. And then close that school element off. So
I'm ready for a quick demo over here with.
So if you have more than one school, you would put multiple line 5s. So let's go back, Robert, and then we're going to finish off this object that you have, and then what we can do is we can go over to your demo.
Okay, no problem.
Because we're almost done with it here.
Snugs, can you explain the code he just wrote?
Wait, hold on for a second.
Okay.
I can't see the object, Robert, that you made.
All right, here.
All right, so the next we have interest, Alberto. So we have to create an interest element. And then do a new line. Yeah, I'll put some space in there. It seems like there's an element called phase language, I think it's called. So let's make one of those.
Stairs?
All right, and I think it's Python is the value. So that's interesting. That's interesting you did that too, Alberto, because one convention in XML is they don't have underscores in the element names. If anything, they'll camel case them, or you'll have a capital L, or you'll do them all lowercase like you do here, Alberto. So that was actually a nice move there too. So this is XML right here. So compared to JSON, what do we notice? Like, so we got Connor, Daniel, Noel's on the line, Philip's on the line, Monte's on the line. What's different between those two? Because they both represent the same data if you squint hard enough.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking whoever wants to answer.
Oh.
Everybody.
Guys, 1 minute. My mom's calling me.
So Connor, what's different in the two structures to you?
It's not a guess, but what I notice is each element is individually represented instead of just grouping them together.
That's definitely one difference between the two. Does anybody notice another one?
I know why that is, but
Oh, why is that, Philip?
there's a lot more ability to kind of nest, but also refer to other elements in XML. So you're creating kind of a hierarchy, or potentially an over hierarchical data file in a sense, because you could have a value of a key referred to I believe an attribute of another kind of element.
Yeah, one thing too that if you notice, XML is really verbose. Like if you notice, you have to write the same.
Each individual, yeah.
You have to write the same thing twice. But XML is very good for people who understand HTML. If you understand HTML, like you know XML pretty much. Actually, there's one difference. Alberto, if you can do a Google search and look up minimum XML document. Yep, W3 schools. That's good enough. All right. So you see where it says XML version 1? Can you copy that line of code, Alberto, and put it in the top of our XML file?
Say it again.
Can you copy the first line of code and put it in the top of our XML file where it has the question marks in it? Excellent. So now it's an XML file. I don't know why. Don't ask any questions, but that's just what you have to put as the first line of every XML file.
For the version, could that represent the version of the data being transmitted in terms of your application? You know, like databases, you'll have versions.
I think it's the version of the XML encoder decoder. Thought.
Okay.
Well, it's a version of XML actually, and it hasn't changed since that, like XML first came out.
I doubt it'll change either.
Yeah, exactly. So that's an XML document. So now, next up, last but not least, so DeMonte, you still there? DeMonte?
Yeah, what's up? My bad.
Okay, can you now show that CSV file? You should have that ready to go, right?
Yeah, 1 second.
DeMonte is going to show us the last version of a data structure, and that's going to be called CSV. Connor, you know what CSV is?
No, no idea.
No. Alberto, do you know what CSV is?
Common separated value.
Yep. Well, wait a minute. Wait. There's a difference here. So, DeMonte, this was the file that was like a binary file. There was one that you showed me that was like you can actually see the values because we're not going to be able to do anything with it. Remember, this is the.
No, I remember it was encrypted. We couldn't see it.
Yeah, I know, but you found one that was a format from another one. You remember? I think I have it actually.
Oh, it was on a different bot there. Hold on.
Exactly. So let's use that one if you don't mind. If you have like a format of it or something.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I gotta find it.
Yo, Snugs, I got a demo ready whenever you guys are done with that.
No. Yeah, we're gonna have him show a CSV so we see the third data type, and then I think we can move on over to the Python side.
Awesome.
The terminal is over like that. What's really cool about this is that it's knowledge that works no matter what programming language you use.
All right, 1 second.
It's fun.
You see it now?
Oh, let's see here. No, you got to share your screen.
You still can't see it?
Yeah, now I can see it. That's a notepad?
Yeah.
Oh boy. So, this is just a text file, and you see if you squint hard enough, like think the labels. So if you have a data structure, in JSON you have those labels, and in XML you have these elements. But in a CSV, usually the convention is the first line in the text file represents the headers. It's more like a database table, if it makes sense, but it's not at all. And the lines that come after the first line are all of the values, and they're all separated with a tab. So this is CSV format, but the C, which stands for comma, can be also TSV for tabs and I guess PSV for pipes because you can use the vertical bar to separate them. You can actually use anything you want to separate them. It's up to you. It's up to the parser actually. So Demonte, tell us a little bit about this and what it's for.
This one is a checkout profile for a bot that automates to get like certain things on websites. Basically, each tab you see is different that you put in. Like you get your profile name, email address, card type, and blah blah all the way to the end. Basically, you just fill those slots, and they're automated. And like if you're on a website, and you know when you're checking out, you have to fill out all the information. All these slots would be automated all throughout that process.
Right.
Each one of these.
Right. So then in that data structure, the thing about CSV is you can't have a common. You had noticed that you can do nested structures in JSON and even XML, but you can't do it in CSV. It's freaking impossible. You can't even do it. It's just you can. You have to do weird stuff like use ID numbers and like look up lines and just like why would you even want to do it really? But you do have like a whole bunch of key value pairs, which is like a more like a flat data structure, and that's not necessarily that means it's easier to build. So it looks like we have profile name, email address, card type, card number, and you see already the column where card type is that even though it's to the left of that Visa column, the headers are still separated with a tab, so it's not messed up. It's only messed up when you look at it. They have card number, card CVV, card expires, billing country, so it's already shifting to the right now. Billing phone, billing first, billing last, and billing zip code, I guess. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's the structure of this thing right here. And it's like DeMonte has been working on this profile where it's basically just a simple HTML form that collects all of the form fields, and then the job is that data gets collected in JSON format, and then it's one job which is a profile generator, and that's probably a bad name. So what are these things, DeMonte? Are these
I really don't know.
profile, credit card?
They're called checkout presets is what.
Okay, so it's a like what a check calling it checkout would be a fair name, right?
Yeah, I'd say checkout presets.
All right, so then it converts those forms into checkout presets, and that's it. So in other words, the only technology that is needed is something that takes a JSON object and converts it over into a CSV, which
exactly.
I bet you if you let's see here, so I bet you if you look up on NPM, there's let's see here, CSV NPM. I know there is because we actually use it at Sensible. Yeah, there's a CSV to JSON and a JSON to CSV NPM package in JavaScript, and let's see here. Yeah, so that's good. That's a Pomodoro, and then maybe next when we get into Python, and Robert, you can do your demo and maybe see how that's relative to the Python world. So we got 5 minutes. Let's take a break. That was pretty damn cool. What did we learn? If you want to go through that, Robert, what did you learn?
Hey Snugs, I gotta head out, but appreciate you letting me in on this, man.
Yeah, no doubt, absolutely. Can you send that file along? Because we still have to work on that. Hey, DeMonte.
You want me to send it? I'll send it through Slack.
Yeah, just send it in Slack. All right, later, man.
I'll see you. See you guys.
See you.
Have a good one.
Hey, Rashawn.
So Connor, what did you learn? I'm definitely interested because you were all about that.
Yeah. So I learned that I guess JSON you would call it a protocol, right? Well, it's a file. It's a file, but it takes basic text.
No, you're right. It's a HTTP is a hypertext transfer protocol.
Yeah.
And JSON, Philip, what's a good word for that? Is it a protocol? I think it's protocol-like for sure.
JSON or
JSON.
why would you call that a? I don't know if it's a protocol. Would you call it a protocol?
No, because there's not. It doesn't have multi-layers like hardware and
Yeah, I think it's a specification more so, right?
Yeah. It's more of a way to transfer data.
Okay. So, but anyway, so it translates into CSV, which is just basic text like SSH, but it's stored values in commas. It's I think you literally said it was I think comma was in the name. It was like comma separated values or something like that.
CSV. I'm putting in the dev channel. I put in the dev channel. I put a link for CSV to JSON and back.
So it stores CSV as its clear text values in just a list.
Yeah, because it's hard. Like, how the heck do you construct it and deconstruct it? It's like it's a weird thing, man.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's been around it's ancient.
And it's still in version 1, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, and if you notice,
there's no standard really, so that you can have then, commas for one, because say like in Europe they use a comma for a decimal place. In the Netherlands, is it, or for instead of a dot? So people there generally don't like to separate by comma, where because that could screw up or makes the parsing a little harder. And then you have a lot of these kind of formats that have developed over the years organically that make, that's the one issue with CSV is that you could be getting a whole different animal each time, so to speak.
Alberto, what did you learn? Where's Alberto? I think you're on mute, Alberto.
He went to the bathroom.
Oh, okay. Christian, what did you learn? I know you were there. Cristiano?
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention, to be honest. Something else.
So what I learned is
What did you learn?
yeah, it's weird. It's weird representing collections in XML compared to JSON. It's just JSON makes it so simple to do it just with an array. All right, so we can start up on let's talk another common rule. And Robert, you ready with your demo?
Yeah, man.
Hey, Robert.
Yeah.
I see that you're working on that API. Why are you returning a status code in the JSON response?
That's not supposed to be there. I had that there by accident. So
that's
a horribly
That's a great question.
It was not meant to be there. I had my errors encoding some way, and I had it in the air body by accident. I have some air handling class, and it was
now with this JSON response you got going. I don't think you even have to say the status failed.
I know.
From the
it's not
code.
supposed to be there, Daniel. It was temporarily there. All right. Anyways, I was gonna show a quick example of sending JSON across the wire to a server. So I have my Flask app running on port 5000. I just put up the app. So I'm using Connor. Are you watching?
Yeah, I'm watching.
So I was telling you at lunch earlier about Postman, right? Remember that?
Yeah.
So Postman is just an HTTP client that allows you to send requests across the wire to servers. So I have my endpoint right here, a put request. So I was telling you about HTTP verbs a little bit. They kind of describe the action that you're trying to execute on the server. So a put request means I'm creating a resource on the server. So I have a put request right here, and you kind of, in Flask, when you define a route, you define an endpoint, you specify what HTTP verbs you want to accept. So I'm just going to do put for now. Here's my user URL.
Oh, Robert, could you tell us what put means?
Yeah, put is a HTTP verb that allows you to create a resource on the server. And typically in put, you want to pass up the ID of an entity because that ensures idempotency when you're interacting with your database.
According to the RFC, put is actually updating partially the field of the object. Not
Yeah, I agree with that, but we talked to Tom, and Tom told us to use a put for creating resources. So,
which is a valid use case.
Exactly. I mean, I'm just going off what Tom said. So I specified ID.
Wait, no, put is giving it a full new representation. That's patches of partially new representation.
That's true.
All right, so I'll just do your username, Connor. I'll put in your email, Connor. What's Connor Moore? Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and send off this request. So as you can see, I sent off this JSON object and a put request to the server, and the server has replied to my requests. So I was asking for the creation of a new resource, and certainly it gave me that. So, oh, should not. That's rude. Anyways, Connor, you were talking earlier about. No, this doesn't relate to it. But anyways, the server has successfully replied, and therefore the resource is created. So as you can see, I sent the server a message in JSON, and it replied with JSON. You see that, Connor?
Yeah, with the code, with the access token. And the
Yeah,
ID
access token. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that yet. But I'll send another request with the same parameters. It's going to say resource already exists. That is basically how JSON can be transmitted over the wire. It's great for communicating between servers, and especially client and server.
And Postman, this is just... Okay.
Connor, you want to see how easy it is to fire off a request from the terminal? Like,
Yeah, sure.
type in curl and the URL name. See, and it gave me back the HTML body. It's really weird.
Try to throw a dash I in it.
Yeah, so there are specific commands in curl. So if I want to make it a put request, I believe it's like put -x data, something like that. I don't know. There's a way to do it, but
Yeah, if you one of the flags is a capital X, so if you do -x and then put after, that specifies the verb.
so let's go ahead and try and do that. So I'm gonna specify URL. Then it's like you just paste in the data, right?
No, you wait. What you? So it's interesting. There's this flag in curl. One of them is --data. That one is a string with quotes around it, and that is you can put JSON in that thing, you can put XML in that thing, whatever. And then the next flag is --X, and then you do put for that, and then it's all caps. And then afterwards, you put the URL, and that's how you do a put request.
So I use the data flag.
Yeah, you're probably going to want to do the single quotes around it, or else you're going to have to escape the
You're right.
Yeah, that's the new thing. Yep, perfect. And then you can, after that, after the --data, you can do -x, and then the URL.
Okay.
And that should be good, actually. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, all caps. Put and wait. You got the -x. You put the -x in between the data and the data. You got to put the -x outside of it. So
Okay.
yeah, you got to put the flag to the left or to the left of the -data or the right of the screen. Yeah, get rid of that. Wait a minute. No, get rid of everything from the data to the quote.
What do I do?
Get rid of all of the stuff all the way to the quote. Oh, wait, whoa, well, that's too much. So you want to do curl, that's a command. Then after that, it's then dash X, capital X. Now get rid of and you can remove the space in between too. That I usually do that. The space in between that, yeah. Now get rid of the dash X after that, and replace that with dash dash data. So you see how you have one flag and then the next one?
Yeah.
And then at the very end, you got to give it the URL. There you go.
Awesome.
Yep. Perfect.
Connor, the point of this is just to show you how you can make use of HTTP to transfer data around the web. HTTP is just an application layer that allows for apps to scale on top of it and communicate using resources. That's the basics of HTTP.
And every server should speak that, Connor. The language that's implemented behind the scenes, it doesn't matter if that's Python, Ruby, whatever it is.
Java, yeah.
It's just a way to JSON's a spec that allows for resources to be transferred over HTTP, and languages implement that spec. So they have JSON parsers like Python dictionary. It's kind of like JSON, but the languages implement JSON. And JSON's a spec.
Work with something other than HTTP. There's other protocols out there.
Correct. There are many other protocols out there.
Yeah, XML.
Not as widely used for a reason. But in legacy applications, older code, you'll be working with much more difficult stuff. I can't remember the names of some of these things, but
what's that one besides XML?
What'd you say, Noel?
What is the other type of object notation besides XML?
Oh my gosh, so CSV. CSV, maybe?
Yeah, I know that. Isn't there should be one more.
I wouldn't think I've even thought about that before.
What about protocol buffers?
Protocol buffers?
They're a binary.
What about Google? I hear they're quite cool.
You're speaking down on a lower level on the OSI stack, the networking stack. That's like UDP and like binary stuff. Isn't that right, Phil?
Yeah, it's a binary representation. So basically, it's more compact. So JSON is just a format for text, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where this is going to be more compact because it's compressed in a way. So you have some added complexity, but then you've also got a smaller kind of bit of data to go across the wire.
Okay.
Yeah, there's also a new protocol that was recently introduced. Nugs threw me a link in the dev channel a while ago for it. I believe it is what was it? They encode data in some way. It's very, very lightweight.
Message pack, right?
Yes, Robert, that is message pack, and I must give props to Philip for putting me up on it more than once.
Apparently, it's a lot more lightweight than JSON. So.
Yeah, Philip, so tell us about some message pack if you can.
What's that?
Tell us about message pack if you can. Maybe you can.
Method what?
Message pack if you can. Maybe you can share your screen to a link or something.
I guess I don't have a link. I can't remember exactly what the difference is between message pack and say protocol buffers is. Generally, a lot of times too, you have things like there's like Avro files which specify their schema as a JSON file, but their data is binary. So you could think of it like we're sending you a message with a column A that's going to be an integer, column B is going to be a float, and column C is going to be just a big string column. So that schema component is in text, but then that representation is binary.
Well, it's not fully binary. It looks like the keys are binary while the values stay in their plain text format.
Okay. So that's with protocol buffers?
I was talking about message pack. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Protocol buffers are, I assume they're all binary. But message pack looks like it's very lightweight. So if you're transmitting a lot of data, you know, hundreds of thousands of lines, maybe like a gigabyte of data, this could really shrink it down, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, exactly, and that's where, well, especially it's more for sending, I believe, quick messages or small messages, but like repeatedly. So it's sort of like you're inside your own system in between server to server. You know, as you kind of scale and sort of, you know, where you're having, you know, enough messages go between internally on your servers that you want to kind of, you know, reduce cost and improve speed. If you're sending data, I believe, on a more, you know, kind of in a big chunk, then there's kind of some other formats too that, you know, are kind of meant for that.
Pardon me, gentlemen. I'm going to get something from downstairs. Bear back 1 moment.
Yep. Well, have you used message pack before?
Have I, or?
Well, have you used message pack before?
No, I have not.
Robert.
Yeah.
So what's okay. So what's is there something that you can put together or talk about that you learned with Python you pass on to?
What'd you say? My bad, Snugs.
Is there something you can pass on to Connor and whoever else is interested from what you learned in Python? You know, you just go into the terminal, the REPL.
Here, I'll pass on some more to you guys. So, Connor, are you still watching the screen?
How do you get into the REPL? Is it just PY from the console?
What?
How do you get into the REPL? Is it PY? Like, so in Ruby.
Oh, Python, my bad. Yeah, Python.
Oh, it's Python or PY?
Python.
And how do you get out? There's a dot exit, right?
Exit.
There's a method. Call the exit method. So I was, I had a... Hey guys, if you look at my screen real quick, Connor, you here?
Yeah, I'm here now. Okay.
So this is a JSON string in Python. Notice you see these triple quotes right here?
Mm-hmm.
So if I didn't have those, I would not be able to do a multi-line string. So all that does is allow me to put a string across multiple lines. You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is an example of a JSON string. I'm going to show you how easy it is to parse it. So I'm going to import the JSON module. I'm going to do JSON.loads person. See? It just parse that JSON object into a dictionary so that I can be like JSON.loads person, what? Schools. Look. And it allows me to access that value. I've already learned about accessing dictionaries, I'm sure, so I can be like, I can even assign this to a variable.
Hey, Rob, what does that 0 mean?
Right, after schools?
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and show you that now. So I'm gonna go ahead and assign this to a variable. Alright, so I can access that via the parse JSON variable. So I'm gonna go ahead and access the property. How about schools again? So as you can see, Noel, schools is an array right here. So I'm just accessing the first element by using 0.
What's the U represent?
That stands for it's a
Need help?
Unicode?
yeah, Unicode, that's what it is. Yeah, it's a Unicode value. That's yeah.
Okay. Now what is
He's
Unicode?
using Python 2 right now, and Python 3 everything's in Unicode, but in 2 you can have strings, can be bytes as well. So that's representing that it's a textual.
Okay. Yeah. So
You want to try something there? Go back to what you just had, the line, and then with a 0 on it, and then do append. Actually, go set that. Sorry, go back. Let's see if you know this. Just set that to a value, so like x equals or something. Schools, other way. Sorry. Well, like schools equals parse JSON. Sorry, and then do schools dot append.
oh yeah, you can append another school. So
Who's got a school for us?
Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech.
Noel, what do you think? Parse
James Madison.
on schools is now.
I would really. I don't know if append is mutating or not. I wonder.
All right, I'm back, guys. Don't know what happened. Anyway.
Well, go to index 3.
I'm not overthinking it, but it seems like we're mutating the schools variable and adding more.
Robert, can you check, see if you could go to the JSON object at index 3? See what it shows.
Yeah, but we gotta do it for the JSON object. Oh, is that :3 to get a subset?
Oh, exactly.
Oh, I see.
I'll show you guys something cool that I learned today. So in Python here, I'm gonna go ahead and access schools variable. What you can actually do is if you have multiple arrays, so like how about I do schools equals we'll do an array. I can go like 0.
Is that the nested array?
Yeah, so in Python it lets you.
Oh man, does that do what I think it does?
Yeah.
No way. So it'll go across every array and grab the first index?
Yeah.
Oh,
Really?
I don't know why it's giving me an error. I was working with that earlier in some algorithm I was writing. It's pretty dope.
Do you have NumPy on there?
Huh?
Go to type in import NumPy.
Oh yeah, Numpy. Yeah.
What does Numpy do?
Installed. Well, I don't have that installed globally, so just go ahead and do that.
Go mess with your local installation of system.
Yeah, man. I install everything in a virtual environment.
Yeah, you are using 3.
Nah.
Can you explain to me what Numpy is?
Numpy is a linear algebra library for Python.
Oh, okay, right. For
Why do you need
neural
that?
networks and all that.
I mean, so I was working on some deep learning earlier. So, for example, like NumPy arrays, like they're great for working with matrices, as you can see right here. It's like kind of it's kind of like a standard library for math in Python. So I'm gonna go here, Battlefield. Huh.
Sort of the equivalent, I guess, in Ruby, not having rake or not having sort of NPM if you're working with like math or matrices.
Yeah. See, I was doing it here, right here, Philip. See, I was you can access array indices. To do that.
Battlefield. School. See, I don't know why it's throwing me an error.
Because that's a normal list, not a NumPy array.
Oh, so it's only NumPy.
You
Okay.
can do like double. You can do double colon -1. So go back up in schools. Do a double colon and then get rid of the comma, and then a -1.
Ah. Wait. How does that work? Wait, that gave me. I'm gonna go ahead and import NumPy. Import NumPy as NP. Huh? See, this is why. Oh my god, man. Saying no module named NumPy.
Yeah, what I usually do is I use combo a lot, but then I usually have a buffer file that makes my username Python the default one.
See, I'm just gonna go. Oops.
Or just go to your virtual environment.
I'm gonna go to an already used virtual environment. Okay, much better. Okay, so this is a example of it. So I can have like a schools array in Python. I want to do like Battlefield, MIT. So what I can do is.
And then you have to do one more thing first. Type in MP.
Yes. All right. MP.
Array.
Array.
And then in parentheses, schools. Set that to something. Because you have a one-dimensional array right now. You didn't make it 2 dimensions, did you? Okay.
I did.
We can try that.
So better. I was doing it. My other.
Yeah, I'll give you a little help. 1 second.
Yeah, that's really weird. I didn't know that was a NumPy extension. I thought that was.
You can do it in normal Python with pretty extensively, but not n-dimensionally. Where in NumPy you can do it n-dimensionally.
Yeah, I found that very interesting.
What you're doing is you're creating a view of the array, and then if in a sense you had a matrix with 1,000,000 elements and you were pulling out say 30, you're actually creating a view. You're not copying the list of items. So then if you multiply it by 5, you're kind of creating then another view, and then you could actually mutate it if you needed to, or you could just if you were say doing an average, that way you're not kind of copying a bunch of data.
Okay. See. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why exactly this is not working. How do I construct a NumPy array? I think I've already done it in here. Yes. Yeah, matrixy. Battlefield.
Oh yeah, I think what you just needed. I think you didn't do a double. Let's see. You did a double. Make it length 3. Essentially. There you go. You got it.
Yep. So.
You could do np.random.rand 2010. I'm just trying to get you more numbers.
Hold on a second. Is array a NumPy type?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh. So, is there a way to actually override the operator of
Yeah, so in Python you can override operators. So NumPy, all the operators are overridden.
I see.
So
So
if you're going to do a million plus a million elements in NumPy, it'll probably be faster than Go because it's actually calling, smugs, you're actually calling an highly optimized library that's been written by Intel and scientists.
so
It's weirdos.
when you have a number and then the colon, I'm assuming that returns some kind of type in Python. Do you know anything about that?
Number and a colon?
So you can, I guess that's called a splice. Is that a proper name?
Oh yeah, you're returning a view of a NumPy array or a view of a list if it's not NumPy.
I'm a little lost.
Type in here. Type in like x equals np.random.rand or random.rand and then put in parentheses 2010 maybe or yeah. Okay, then type in x just to see it. So see it. You have those values, and now try to do a slice on that.
Oh, so it's called a slice.
It's called a slice.
So when you do a slice, though, so they override that operator, and so the function accepting those parameters, it would accept those two parameters.
Yeah. So do what you have up there, x colon. So go up just at the upper one and then hit plus x colon comma 2.
Yeah, I get that, but what's the data type returned when you use the colon?
That's a NumPy array.
So Daniel, Numpy is great for manipulating matrices, and they kind of provide a lot of functionality. So this slice right here, I'm assuming they're overriding some class in Python or something. What do you think about that, Philip?
You'd have to override that operator too, right?
No, they're adding extensions onto it that allow for this, something like that.
Yeah, I kind of love to know how that works.
Type in np.mean. np.
NP.
Dot mean. MEAN. Parentheses x.
I love NumPy, man. It's honestly amazing.
So now go hit the up arrow.
Yeah.
And then after the x, so go back to what you just had.
Yeah.
After the x, do comma 1.
Okay, so it selects all of the first indices of the array.
So it basically did an average across every row.
Every row. Okay.
Where the first one you did an average of all the elements.
Okay, I get it. Yeah, NumPy provides some great features to it. A lot you can do with it.
Yeah, I'm still
Great matrix multiplication, so.
I'm trying to understand. It doesn't really make sense when you do the slice. You say you did 0:1, and they accept that in they overrided the operator, so they have their function for that override, and they accept that in the parameter. How do they use that value?
Well, I think it's a good time to dig into the NumPy code, so let's go ahead and pull it up on GitHub.
Is it open? It's open source, right?
Yeah, so I actually have a good idea of how they're doing
more
it.
C code in it than there is Python code, by the way.
Yeah, in order to override that, inside of a class, you can specify overrides, so like...
Can you actually, like extensions in Swift?
It's actually, there's something called Python, which is basically almost like writing Python, which a lot of people use.
Oh, yeah, Python. Yeah.
Over Swift. Yeah.
Can you real quick scroll up a bit? No, yeah. Not that much. Oh, yeah, that's it. So x equals, no. Can you go back up? Okay. X equals np.random.rand and then 20:10. Can you explain that line of code to me?
So Connor, this is actually a library called NumPy this isn't really just Python alone, where we have these access to these methods through the library, the linear algebra library called Numpy. So random.ran, what this does is, you know what a matrix is?
It's no.
So a matrix array, it's pretty much it's like a nested array. So they're used a lot in linear algebra. So right here on this line of code, I'm specifying the, what is this, rows or columns? Help me out here.
Allow me to jump in and give a better example of a matrix. A matrix, like imagine a chessboard. You have all this, you have the grid, you have all the slots. So if you were to represent a game of chess in code, you'd use a matrix. So it would be an array of arrays. So the parent array, like the very root array in your code, is going to be the whole board. And then each row is going to be an array inside that array.
Yep.
Makes sense? Okay, and between those two are the specific locations.
Wait, yeah, Robert, do an example.
Yeah, so here's an example of a matrix right here. So what I have here is these are all columns right here, column, 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 but these are rows right here. So in this constructor right here, it takes, let me show you, so first parameter it takes are columns, and the second are rows, so I'm going to do 4 columns and 1 row. Oh, maybe it was the other way around.
Do 2 rows. Or 2 columns, yeah. Or go 4, comma 2. So rows are first.
When you gave it no value, what actually happened?
Oh, my bad. So this right here, this value right here specifies where it says 4. This specifies the rows. This specifies columns.
Yeah, but you gave it no value. Okay.
Honor. So look, columns, columns, rows. You got that?
Rows, columns.
Yeah.
But why did you?
Yeah, X and Y axis. Yeah.
You gave a comma and it still gave you an answer. It defaults to 1. So
What do you mean?
Why would it default to 1?
Oh, I see that right there.
Yeah, so type in here. I'll show you something too. Type in help.
It's got to be help.
So type so help np or help parentheses np dot random dot ran.
Wow. That is a nice hack, Philip.
I'll go up a little bit. So you'll see where the function definition is. Just scroll up.
Not letting me.
Oh, it's not letting me. Okay, so see how it says rand and then in parentheses n0, n1, nm?
Yeah.
So basically what it's saying is you can specify n dimensions and get an n-dimensional random number.
Yeah, I get that. Okay.
And then it's got some notes there.
it doesn't say D1 is optional. It says D2 or DN.
That's saying that there's an n number of parameters to the method. Meaning you can,
I see. Okay.
to the nth power or whatever, you can specify as many as you want.
Yeah, so think of like a vector is sort of a one-dimensional aspect where you're kind of running on a track, but you can only run straight or backwards. And then a matrix typically is, a court where you can move side to side, but you can't jump. Then, the third dimension is that you can move vertically, but then for some problems, you want to specify more than 3 dimensions. So it allows you to basically create n dimensions of vector space.
Philip, how do I get out of this, man?
Help should just be, you just move down, you should be still in the terminal.
Now, let's say that we decide we want to take in an infinite number of parameters. I know I've done it in Java. I know there's a certain term for it in Java. I don't remember what that term is. Do you know what the term is for it in Python?
Well, here, you want to make a function or you want to input infinite amount? Or so before x you do asterisk.
That's what it is, yeah, 2 asterisks.
Oh, yeah.
So double asterisk is basically if you're going to name the parameters. Single asterisk is for So like if you're going to input like a dictionary, that's not going to work. Yeah. So do this. Here, go back and make a dictionary of key values.
What do I do?
Or just get rid of one of the asterisks. Yeah. There, yeah.
Right here?
So yeah, basically one asterisk is saying these are single parameters with no keyword. So now go back up there and do let's see, do def do party. Or call the function, or I was saying, and then do double asterisk person. I guess you could do.
What do I do?
No, so in the beginning of the function, or after Dan, make that double the. Put another asterisk in front of person. But after the parentheses there. And then type, just print person.
Right here.
No, I would start for the after the function, or after the
Rashawn, are you still here?
All right, so now no, that's not going to work. Now type in Dan person 1 equals snugs, snugs in quotes.
Yep.
And then comma.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Well, now do comma person 2 equals
Oh, that's very interesting.
Now go back to make a new def equal Dan equal. Go back to the initial function. And now do before that, or get rid of one of the asterisks there, and then after person do comma, double asterisk people. Now do Dan, then do a string just Dan, and then comma, person 1 equals Snugs, or Robert, yeah.
No, what is it between that and using an array?
Now I actually do one more thing after. This might not work in Python 2. Put an asterisk before person 1 when you define it.
Hey, Robert, can you put in Dan, comma, Snugs and then comma person equals Rob?
Yeah.
Yeah, that right there. I knew it. Oh, okay. Okay.
Now here's another one. Make a dictionary outside of the function. So just go.
You made that into a tuple.
So here, call it. Make a new variable called people coming equals dictionary, and then do just create some. We'll create some fields on it. Yeah, you could do it that way. Rob equals yes. Yeah.
That's true.
And then Snugs no, or
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Do one more. Make one more. So there's 2. Oh no, go. I mean, yeah, there. Yeah, and then call Dan. Do Snugs, comma. So type the string Snugs.
Sure.
And then do asterisk, people coming. No quote there. Leave a quote. Yeah. Do asterisk, people coming. And then end the function. So like a end parentheses, not a comma. Hit enter.
So when you use this ** in your declaration for your function, is that better when you're defining a public API that other people will use to give them a choice between an array and just listing them?
I don't know if I'd class it as a public API, but what's basically allowing you to do is like it's a spread operator, but for key value pairs.
Oh,
So,
okay, I see.
so the single one is basically now you could do another thing if you when you create that function. I don't know if this will work in Python 2. You could do def dan and then you could write just write one variable out person and then a comma do an now an asterisk comma single asterisk sorry. And then do person one and the parentheses and then make that a function or make that well no it's fine make it a function.
Whoa! You need the colon, don't you?
You need the colon, yeah, at the end. And then print. Oh, this is the sorry. This is a Python 2.
That's what I was about to say.
Python 3, yeah.
Philip, those are some very good points you brought up. I've actually learned a little bit out of this stuff.
Someone's still wondering why you'd want to just use a key value rather than an array, though.
Why you would or wouldn't?
Why you would? You just access the index.
Well, so we had where we were using a matrix before. So say we had an array of say maybe it was we were talking about schools, or maybe it's an array of grades for a test, right? If we use the single asterisk versus the double, maybe we don't have those. Those don't need to be key values, but they're just numbers, and we want to kind of spread those numbers out to do like individual function calls or something.
Beautiful, guys, beautiful.
Yeah, I'm not really following. Why is that?
What'd you say, Connor?
I said beautiful. We're doing well.
Guys, I'm not following.
No, you're not following.
Wait a minute. So Connor? Where you lost?
I'm lost, Rashawn.
No, he's lost. What? I'm lost a little too. Keyboard interrupt. Where does that come into play?
It's more a reason of practical use case for it.
So do
This is for infinite parameters.
Where is this coming from? Keyboard interrupt.
That's something like you're hitting the keyboard. It seems like, right?
Yeah.
Well, but he's doing it now and it hasn't showed up. But why is it doing it only in certain instances?
Because he's hitting Control C, I think.
Control C. Okay.
So what if he makes a new function? Say and then I was gonna say def. I was gonna make it numeric, so
I'll put it here.
do asterisk variable or a single asterisk. I was gonna make it like a numeric field, so it makes weight maybe person, yeah, and then end the function, and then close, and then do a sum weight. Oh. Or you could, I mean. So, but if you go back to making that function, and then well, you're fine there. Now for the actual, instead of print weight, do sum weight. So sum, and then parentheses weight. And print. Oh, you gotta print that or return it. You didn't print it or return it, so it's just gonna.
Wait, is the star implicit? So if you don't give the star, it would have the same behavior, right?
What's that?
By default, if you don't have any star, does it default to 1 star?
The defaults no. So if now you do sum weight and get rid of the star. So that would be the same function, but get rid of that star though. So you have the star above.
Yeah.
So now try to put in multiple variables. So that didn't work. Now make the put a bracket around the 1 and around the 2.
Okay.
So
No.
syntactic sugar, basically.
Yeah. End of the day, yeah.
Yeah, so it's basically unpacking an iterable,
Okay.
and sort of then, so like in a sense then, right, like it's separating out that grouping. So if you went back actually, so go back to making person have the asterisks. Single asterisks.
What is the difference between single and double? Oh, is double the one that puts a new dictionary for you?
Yeah, exactly. So think single array, double dictionary. So now do sum weight. Or print sum weight, yeah.
So you don't have to use these. It just makes nicer syntax.
Well, it depends what you're trying to do. So now you can do 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, but yeah, so do that. Now also now do double brackets.
Real quick,
Sorry, no,
can you
around all those numbers.
Can you explain why the colon wasn't needed earlier, but now it is?
Oh, so go back up to okay. So go back up to your function and put brackets around all those numbers. No, I don't. Not there. Just where you had the 1, 2, 3s. Oh well. Yeah. So put them around. Yeah. So do a person. Yeah, and then do 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and then close it. So now it's not going to work. Now we'll go back. Now put an asterisk in front of the whole array. No, not there. Go back to what you just had. The last line, yeah. Now in front of that 1, but in front of the bracket of the 1, put an asterisk, a single one. Like that. So see how he's got like an array already? And it would work for some, the function sum either way, but I'm kind of just trying to illustrate a point. So he's basically able to, with the asterisk, unpack that array into this person function as sort of item by item.
I get it.
Where without the asterisk, it sort of wants the whole grouping or collection at once.
So yeah, it just unpacks it and passes it in as parameters, and you can access those parameters in a list. That makes a lot of sense.
It makes sense, yeah. I don't see myself writing code with that though. I usually just use normal array or dictionary.
A good example would be, say you were potentially taking on more values, and you wanted to kind of, so you're streaming stuff in, but then you wanted to operate on that stream item by item at some point. It could be a way to help facilitate that.
I'm sorry, did you say string or stream?
Stream.
Stream, like live stream.
Yeah, like a live stream.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where, right? Because you might not have the array in that traditional sense if it's kind of already created, but if it's sort of streaming in values, it can kind of start to think of that as an array sort of at the moment.
Yep. It's all just syntactic sugar, as Philip will tell you. It just makes things easier on us as developers.
Mm-hmm.
And Connor, that's what Code Academy won't teach you. Huh?
Yeah, Code Academy is just boring shit.
Yeah,
I mean, if we're being honest, really, it's just that they pick the most basic, dull concepts like, let's make a grocery, shopping cart list or whatever it is, and you have to play by their book. There's no breaking out.
Hey, Philip. Philip, I've been quite busy lately. I have not had time to work on the Google Scraper because I've had school. I was planning on starting it. School lets out for me Friday, so I was just waiting for school to let out because I've been so packed on other projects. So
yeah, and I think Brian's starting to touch some of that. He was actually saying, have you ever heard of Cloudflare?
Yeah.
He was saying you could use something like that to do some of the caching of requests. Instead of kind of making your own kind of caching table or layer, that you could use a service like that to kind of not, set an expiration. I don't know if you have Snugs or Robert, you've had experience with that.
I know basic caching. It's just an implementation of HTTP. It's a few headers you have to throw in there.
Yeah.
Really not that bad. So anyways, I think where we paired like a week ago, I think where we left off was we were going to see where we get just by firing off an HTTP request and just parsing the HTML raw. And then we'll see how far we get with that, and if they start blocking our requests, then we'll go to some distributed scraping solution.
Yeah, exactly. And I think what we're thinking was basically if we're caching the values ourselves, most people are probably going to start to type the same thing, so it should reduce that enough to where the combination of those two things should probably, prevent hitting it.
Yeah. I was thinking we could have some microservice that just sits and on the daily just goes in and pulls the latest information that's being requested often and just puts it in some cache somewhere.
Yeah, and that's what we were thinking was, start to kind of log what people are typing, kind of cache the results and then decide kind of how often they change, but that way you can build up like a frequency of like what's the most searched 50 terms that you could always kind of pre-populate those. Right, so it's sort of like having kind of the data, then you can kind of decide whether or not to kind of pre-populate some of it, because probably each day most people are going to search for. Well, that's the assumption. It's kind of storing it. We'll be able to see if people search for the same thing or if people are searching for more current events in the news.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and write a quick Google module in Node. Just throw that in there. It'll be an independent module inside of the repo, and we'll see how far we get with that. Okay?
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, and then I can talk to Brian a little bit, and I think Noel's a little busy on XML land, but he probably wants to turn it, and then they can kind of work that in. I think Brian was saying too. I think he was going to do a couple things, and then once you kind of free up, kind of join in with what their progress has been.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, so that's pretty good, isn't it? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I can.
I think that's a good session. That was 3 Pomodoros, and that's awesome. Connor did. Be careful what you ask for. You might get it, man.
Oh yeah, I got a lot of information. Most of which I couldn't digest. It was just conceptual. So, but yeah, that was good.
Excellent. Yeah, we'll link up again on Friday.
Friday. Okay. Same time.
Yeah, there's a few people who couldn't make this one. So
okay, so we'll have more the merrier. So.
Yeah, what do you think about straw poll, man?
Awesome.
It's so great when you just want to get the decision. All right, awesome. So we'll talk to you all later, and I think we'll kill the recording right here, and that'll be pretty good. And we'll put the link into the dev channel also.
Awesome.
All right. Take it easy, guys.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Have a good one.
Dude.